We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 41. So I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I had a very busy day today. I had a lot that needed to be done. I had to cut up a tree that had fallen in our backyard, so I got to get that done. Didn't finish it actually. I got it cut off and then cut some of it up and then got rid of those logs, but I still have a couple of things left to do with that. But I also needed to mow the lawn and do some other things too. So I got the worst of it out of the way, and I'll have to go back to that this week sometime so I can finish it. And you have another cat trying to get into the podcast currently. This one is Gracie. Hi, Grace. Say hi. Look, where are you going? Come on over. Okay, there she goes. So she's very annoying, and she's a biter. So busy. I slowed down on the logging issue because after a while it felt like I was taxing myself a little bit too much, maybe, and I started to worry about it because I was sweating, I was breathing heavy. I was doing like actual heavy manual labor at the time, and so I started to worry that maybe I was pushing too hard, so I stopped and put that away and said, you know what, I'll come back to this later on, this week or something, so that I don't tax myself too much. I did have a busy week, and I'd already been doing some physical activities today and doing some yard work and things like that, so I don't know, I was just starting to worry a little bit that my heart rate was probably outside of the range that my cardiac rehab team has set for me, the 106 to 125. So I didn't want to get too far out of that range, and I could feel that I was. So I just backed off and I said, you know what, I'm going to slow down here. We don't want to repeat of the other things, but other than that, the heart rate was up, the breathing was a little heavy, I was sweating, but nothing was too bad. I don't seem to have had any negative, residual effect from any of that, but who knows? I feel fine. I'm tired, but, I've had the whole chest pressure thing today considerably. So recording with the Shure SM58 today. I think this is going to be the microphone that we're going to settle on. I'm probably going to EQ it a little bit. I think I have a high-pass filter currently on it. Let's check. And yes, I have a high-pass filter, which means it drops off some of the lowest lows, some of that rumbling sound that you're going to get from a low voice. And so it might sound a little bit better. I might play around with the EQ a little bit more to see what else we can come up with to just make it clearer and maybe a little more enjoyable for everybody. Because I know that the whole the Satan thing is probably not pleasant for a lot of people. But the free Reaper plugins for EQ and things like that into OBS, pretty helpful. So I'll play around with that a little bit more, and I might wind up putting the pop filter back on this. I'm not sure. I'll have to, after I get it equalized, if I get an EQ setting that I think is good but needs a little bit something, I might put the pop filter on here. But enough about that. Magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate. I mentioned yesterday or the day before that the cardiac rehab specialist recommended that as a sleep aid, and I thought I would give it a try, so I ordered some. I tried it last night, and I was exhausted though. So this is where I don't know if it worked or not because I was exhausted already. It had been a long week. I hadn't slept hardly at all the night before, so I was going to pass out eventually, so I don't know if the magnesium glycinate helped or not. I fell asleep about a half an hour after I laid down. That doesn't mean a whole lot, though, because the melatonin did the same thing. I didn't take melatonin with it. I just took the magnesium, and it's hard to say. I still woke up the same number of times overnight, and I was out of bed at 4 a.m. Now, I probably was asleep, I don't know, around 9 p.m. So if you remove the times when I got up and, hey, I had to go pee like 3 times, and you remove the times that I got up and did that, and the times when I just woke up and looked at my watch and rolled over to the other side, I don't know how much sleep I would have gotten, but in general, I was in bed for about, I don't know, I guess 6 or 7 hours. 7. I don't feel any different. I didn't feel any after effects of the magnesium, so it didn't seem to, do anything as far as like giving you a hangover feeling or anything like a sleep aid might. And I'm not sure if it actually helped me sleep at all. But it was the first night, so we'll keep trying it. I'll do it again tonight, and we'll give it a few days to see if I notice any kind of significant difference in my sleep cycle or my ability to stay asleep or sleep longer. And if so, I'll let you know. But at this point, it's impossible to say because I was going to pass out last night anyway, whether I took anything or not. So I don't know if it helped. But tonight, I'm a little bit more rested. Even though I had a very physically active day, I'm not exhausted like I was yesterday. So we'll see. I'll see if I notice it helping tonight. Then, tomorrow it's supposed to be raining, so I'm probably going to be indoors all day. If it may not rain all day, but I got all the yard work stuff done so that I don't have to do anything outside tomorrow because according to the weather report, it was supposed to rain. So I kind of felt rushed, and I had to get everything done outside. That was going to be outside. Tomorrow, maybe I'll do some stuff inside and do some more eBay stuff. I have a whole bunch of things that I need to still, photograph and list on eBay. So I'll probably do some of that. Currently, it's about 6:25, so probably not going to do any of that tonight. Hopefully, I'll just rest for the rest of the night. Maybe watch some television or something. I don't know. Get caught up on whatever shows we're not caught up on. I lose track of them anyway, and I'm not exactly sure how many we're watching or which ones they are. So there you have it. If you went and participated in the YouTube microphone review and test, thank you, because I'm trying to find the best microphone for my voice, and I'm beginning to realize that the coolest microphones may not actually be the best ones for my voice. So I'm currently using the SM58, which has a good sound, and which has it already has kind of a deep, rich tone, but it also has sort of a built-in high pass down on the low end. So it's a pretty stable microphone. It has, off-axis rejection and all of the things that somebody would really want in a good microphone. And, the thing that people are going to say is that it just looks like a microphone. It's not cool for podcasting or streaming or whatever. You know what I say? Screw you. You're not the one paying for it. I am. So I will use whatever microphone sounds the best because that's what a microphone is for. It's not really to be looked at. It's to be heard. So, this all came about because I watched some tutorial videos on YouTube by audio engineers who are talking about pick the right microphone for your voice. It's not about picking an SM7B because that's the cool microphone. It may sound like dog shit with your voice because everybody has a different, range. Everybody has different frequencies. Mine tend to be low, and not all microphones respond well to someone with a really deep voice. So you wind up getting muddy or sounding boxy, which is a thing. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. But, not they all don't work. And so I might wind up with a $35 Chinese microphone might sound the best with my voice. I don't know yet. I have a couple of those, so we're going to try them out. And I picked up an Audio-Technica ATR 2100X, which is a USB and XLR connection microphone, which means, for those of you who don't understand, XLR is a 3-pin connector, which is what this is, the thing that you most often see connected to the bottom of a microphone. So that's a standard microphone cable that's running into my audio interface. So a USB connection is just that. It just plugs directly into your laptop, and you don't have to have an audio interface and all this other cool stuff. But the XLR connections are analog, so you have to run it through an audio interface to convert those signals from analog to digital so that your computer can record them. The USB just is a digital signal, so it just connects directly. But the microphone that I picked up that was delivered today is capable of doing both. It can do USB connections and XLR. And I was experimenting with it a little bit earlier, and it's got a decent sound to it. It does not sound as nice as the SM58, but it didn't have a bad sound to it at all. And it may wind up being the microphone that I take with me on my little portable show in a box, where I go record things in the truck and weird stuff like that. But eventually I'm going to be doing shows on the road talking to people. That's my plan anyway. So that's why I'm setting up this whole travel kit with its own audio interface and with its own microphones and cables and all of that, where I can just put it in a case and take it with me and interview people, talk to people, and do all that without having to disassemble everything here in the magnificent multi-million-dollar studio of my loft, and with all the stuff I already owned in the backdrop because I didn't want to buy anything. So that way I don't have to disassemble any of this. Everything can just stay the way it is, and I'll have the mobile stuff that I just take with me and, throw in a box. And that one can record 4 microphones at a time. So if I run into a small group of people and we all want to talk, piece of cake, we can make that happen. I can also use it here at home if that situation arises. But for the most part, I have this one set up for 2 microphones because, I don't know, I'm going to have guests or maybe a co-host one of these days whenever she decides that it's time, to do it. I was going to do a podcast with my wife so that she could explain to people what it was like, what her experience was like when I was having a heart attack, because you've heard what I experienced and we've heard what a couple of other guys experienced when they had heart attacks, but we haven't heard the spouse's side of the story. So I wanted to get that captured. She's not ready to do it yet. Whether she ever will be or not, I don't know. But I have this set up so that we can do that at any moment. And, but yeah, I kind of want to get her perspective. I would like to get some other spouses' perspectives as well, or girlfriends or whatever, or guy friends, whoever was there that experienced this heart attack with someone, because I think that's a neglected, area of research, is how this affected the person who was with them, because it's a pretty traumatic ordeal, I can imagine. But we'll do that, another day, eventually, sometime. And but that's about it for today. I feel okay today. I have the chest pressure thing, but it looks like, it's just the way it's going to be. Everything else seems to be okay. A disaster happened today that's going to cost us a lot of money, but I'm not going to talk about it. It has nothing to do with my health or the health of anyone else. So it's just another thing, another frustration. Such is life. And yeah, it's going to cost us a shit ton of money probably. And, fun times. Welcome to adulthood and parenthood. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow, or talk to somebody tomorrow. I'll put out a podcast or something tomorrow. But I hope you all have a great time. And take care of each other. And I am out of here.